Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Nez Porter at you. I got a call. I came here after work. One of these endurance, I guess the energy efficient heater / hot water heaters. And I'm not too sure what was wrong with it. I got a lockout code. So I reset it and it's working fine. And if it happens again, I gotta find out what's causing it to lock out. Right now everything seems like it's working. It's speeding up and slowing down as it should. I checked the pump, so I assume it's circulating because I'm getting heat through both sides. Yep, heat's coming out both sides of that. The only thing I didn't check to see if there's any air in that little air vent back there. Could be some air in the tank. But looks like we're running so far. We're at 172. We're slowing down a little bit. Looks like a BFE. I'm not sure what BFE means. I have to look that up. So I checked everything else, and everything else seems good. This looks like a little mixing valve, so I'm not going to touch that. I'm assuming that mixes the hot and cold water. Could be wrong, but I'm not going to touch it. Looks like a mixing valve. It should be a cold side, a hot side, and a warm side. It's just a sensor that's just sensing the water coming back to the boiler. That's not even warm though. See, I think the call was she said she wasn't having heat, but this looks like it does heat and hot water. So, and now it's getting hot now, so that is working. It just turned hot. Wow. Something just... Alright, let's see what that's doing over here. 178 is still running, which is good. I just felt this thing get steaming hot. Wow, so that's hot. Wow, that's hot. That's hot. So it's doing something. Looks like the automatic feeder must be working because it don't look like it's stopping for water. It's not backflowing nowhere. It's cold on one side, hot on the other. This little check valve is not spilling any water out, so that's a good thing. Just to make sure, just give it a little feed and see what it does. Oh yeah, that's working. Oh, you hear the water pass through, you know that's working. None of the pressure valves are leaking. Pressure valves are good. The other pressure valve over there looks like it's good. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I have to look up what the maybe read this manual later on. Find out what could cause a lockout on this. Matter of fact, looks like it's right here. It tells you lockout. After 3 tries of ignition, it will lock out. Okay. So something caused that to lock out. And apparently he must have tried to kick in 3 times. Could be a bad igniter. Could be the wrong air fuel mixture. Could be a couple of things. We just gotta check everything to find out what's going on. But right now, that controls the zone valves. Usually people use Tyco boxes. They got an Argo, which is expansion tank sounds. Huh. Let me tap on that to see how that sounds. Let's take a quick tap on that. Oh, that's a good sound. That's not bad. And these little bleeders right here, you always want to keep the cap loose. Like don't tighten it down too hard. Always give it some, like, what you can do is you can tighten it down completely, then back it off like 2 or 3 turns. Like that. Never tighten them all the way down. You got the zone valves. So this controls the zone valves. That's hot. That's hot. So this one's kind of lukewarm. This one's hot. These two are definitely open. This one is that's the supply sign, or the riser, whatever you want to call it. This one here is not open. So if the issue is no heat, well, she has no heat or no hot water.
No heat.
No heat. Does she have heat now? Ask her, does she have heat now? Because if she doesn't have any heat, then this Tyco valve could be not opening. But to check and see if we get some kind of, we could always bypass it too, just push this up. But there may be the issue is one of the zones is not opening. So if she indeed has no heat, potentially this zone valve is the culprit. We have to make sure the thermostats are open and it's calling for heat. These are pretty good connected right there. This definitely is not getting a good flow compared to this one. This one, I touch it, I'm almost burning my hand. I instantly touch it. This one, I can hold my hand on it a long time, so I can tell right now this is not open. Now the other question is that if we're getting 24 volts at the zone valve, then we could have a bad zone valve. So we want to make sure we're getting power at the zone valve. I'm going to test that with my testers. And if we're getting power at the zone valve, then it's something like the zone valve not opening properly. And that's a common thing that happens too. You can have power at the zone valve, but the zone valve is not functioning properly, which is an easy change out. These things, just quarter turn, they come out and the other one pops in. But worst case scenario, you can take it off completely, or you can just bypass it. Either one or the other. So let me see if I can try to do this one-handedly. Test for power on this bad boy. So I'm gonna see if I can. Where we at? We're up here. See if I can put my testers on and see what I got. So it should have between this one and this one. It's no circuit, no power there. It's an open circuit. What we got there? Not there. Could have no. It could be the thermostat not calling for heat. Could be an open thermostat. I forget the wiring diagram of this. I believe the bottom one is an inside switch. The top should be the common, and the other one, the middle one, should be like the line side, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at the diagram on it, but I think the bottom is an inside switch. So when this one closes, it makes this contact send that contact back to the board. So these two theoretically are the same, and just the switch changed them back and forward. To double check and make sure. But I know this top is supposed to be the common, and these two are supposed to be like the inside switch or something like that. I don't work on these that often, but the guys that work on this all the time know exactly what's going on. So right now we're not locking out, we're still running. I'm trying to get this to work up to full capacity before I want to see how it ignites the second time around. And if it's having a problem igniting, that's what I think. She had a problem with this thing igniting because it was on the lockout mode. Just trying to figure what caused the lockout. The igniter kicked in right away. The gas valve is all the way open, so I'm assuming you have sufficient gas pressure. But what I noticed on the street down the block, I noticed EverSource or National Grid rather, working on the street, and I'm wondering if they killed the power, not power, they killed the gas, and this thing could have tried to kick in 3 times, and the fact there was no presence of gas caused the lockout. That could be the other issue. So we don't know exactly what it is until we diagnose everything. This thing is burning hot, so that's hot. That's hot. This is probably the one. So this is my first time seeing one of these, so I have to do some more research on how these are run. I'm thinking that this is the mixing valve. I'm not going to touch it, but I think this is the mixing valve that mixes your domestic hot water to the right temperature. So we're not going to touch that because whatever setting that is at, we're going to leave it there. Yes, sir. What she said it was?
Now, it's an and because the hot water and the heat is some coagulated together.
They both go together, I know that.
Yeah. So there's another issue in the problem. The heat energy guy came here and changed out the thermostat.
So he changed the thermostat where in her unit?
Right.
Okay.
So there's a possibility of mishap there.
Gotcha.
That's
so I'm not getting no signal down here. So maybe I checked for power down here. There's no signal on it. So she has no heat in her unit right now.
I did not answer that because once I got into the thing about someone who was up there touching something, I want to verify everything I had to find out about. And the thing is, the energy guy came here, the energy guy Saber came here. He played with the thermostat upstairs and replaced it. And that's part of the equation.
Question is, why did he change the thermostat? Was it something
wrong
with
it? It's an energy saving program.
Okay.
I think he played like, oh, this one's better. I don't know. But I'll go ask her, what was that question again? Is the heat on now?
Is the heat working in her unit? And now, because one unit doesn't have heat. Because I know that from down here, but find out if that's her unit. Because I'm feeling this pipe, and I know this pipe is not getting heat through.
So it might be a zone.
Yeah, but find out, it could be the thermostat not hooked up the right way too. That's what we're...
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
I just led to that.
And find out what kind of thermostat she had on it before he changed it. Yeah, because if you change the thermostat... Ouch, that's hot. Woo. If you change the thermostat, there's a reason why you change the thermostat. You just don't change the thermostat because you feel like it. There's no air here. We have circulation through this zone valve. These controllers are working, obviously, because they're sending the signal to where they need to send it to. So I'm gonna do a little troubleshooting on this thing. And we got that's just to bleed out air or water on it if we have to. So just looking at this thing, both valves are open. There's no restrictions anywhere, other than the fact that this Tyco valve, zone valve, is not sending the hot water through here. It's kind of warm, but it should be so hot that I should be able to put my hand on it and hold it like that. That's definitely hot on that side, so there's no question that this is stopping it. I don't want to bypass it yet, because I know if I bypass it, it's definitely going to send the flow through. Yeah, she definitely either have a thermostat issue or a zone valve issue. Assuming they both work on the same transformer, there has to be power there somewhere. So I'm gonna shut this video off, and I'm gonna troubleshoot it, and more likely we could have just a improperly installed thermostat, or I'm trying to figure out, was it working prior to the guy changing the thermostat? If that's the case, then maybe it's just a thermostat. All right, so we're shutting down now. We're shutting down. We reached maximum temperature, 193. That's a good shutdown. Everything's so far so good. This needs a little vacuuming too. This definitely could use a little vacuuming. So we're completely shut down. Just checking everything over real good. Make sure everything is... I noticed they have 2 gas valves on it. There's a gas valve there. which is okay, which is not bad. They have another gas valve inside here, which is right there, which, you know, it's not wrong, it's just an extra one, which is okay. Got your solenoid valves right there. That's what opens your gas valve. So those are obviously working. Circulator pump is obviously working because we're getting flow on the other one. That's hot. So it can't be the circulator pump. Worst case scenario, she could have air in this line and we gotta bleed out that line. So I'm gonna test the zone valve and thermostat for power and continuity and all that good stuff. And if they got good power and I'm getting power down to this terminal here, my next thing is checking the unit, the baseboard unit itself for air in the line. Yes, sir.
She has a Honeywell home, and she has heat now.
She has heat now, so everything's working fine?
Everything's working fine right now.
Alright, so she's good to go right now.
Yeah.
Alright, so maybe the other one's not calling for heat. That could be a different floor or something. I don't know what that is, but whatever that zone is if she has heat and she's good, then we're not even going to mess with nothing else.
But yeah, exactly. But okay, we'll go from there because you can't do nothing when it's working.
Right, I can't fix what's not broken. So I'm not gonna.
Thank you, sir. No, cut this. Time out. It's over.
All right. So as long as she's got what she got her heat, she got her hot water.
Yes. Let me do one protocol. You want to shut it down and cut it back on?
Well, that's what it did just now. It just shut down. And
you turned it down and cut it back on.
No, it shut down by itself.
Okay, because it was satisfied.
Right. So once it's satisfied, it shut down.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen, once the demand goes back on again,
it's going to come back
this should
on.
kick back in. And then as long as it doesn't lock out, it doesn't do that funny stuff.
There's nothing you could do.
Right. I can't fix what I can't see not working.
Okay, so you want to see it go through one more cycle?
I'm going to watch it one more cycle, kick back in. Once everything kicks back in, the only thing I noticed, like, because maybe she's not calling for hot water, this pipe's not getting hot. But usually this pipe gets hot when the demand for hot water is coming through.
Okay, exactly.
So if she's not
hot.
if she's not running the hot water, then obviously she's not getting the demand.
It has a phone.
It has a sensor on it and all that stuff. But that's a mixing valve. I'm not going to touch none of that because we didn't come here to mix and change anything.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I'm going to let that run and we'll go from there.
That's a good deal.
That's all we can do.
Mission accomplished.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm just going to hang around and wait for it to kick back in and see what happens from there.